everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and today we're going to be talking about the movie Across the Universe. This is the last musical for Musical Month, and hopefully the last musical ever. Next year, I think it's going to be Classic Movie Month because I absolutely cannot stand musicals. I love movies, I love music, so you think that I would love musicals, but funny enough, I don't. I think that they're clunky and awkward. The first two that we did, I really did enjoy, but I enjoyed it for the story. While Grease it was nothing to do with the music getting added in, but Across the Universe here, it felt like they were writing the story around the songs. So I'll be honest, this is the second time I'm recording this because for some reason my mic wasn't on. So this is what I said in the first video it wasn't let's write a story start to finish. It was let's see how we could get from girl to with a little help from my friends. How can we work that in? How can we get from this song to this song in the story? I do feel that musicals function better when the songs are written for the musicals and not the musicals are written around the songs, because it gets very clunky and very confusing. Another thing about this movie was that they had a bunch of characters named after Beatles songs, which great. I like that they did that. They had Jude, Lucy, Max Kerrigan, which I don't know if that is a Beatles reference, but that is the other main character. And I guess Lucy's last name would be Kerrigan too. Prudence. We also had a Dr. Roberts, and I'm again not 100% sure which Beatles song that was, but I know it is a Beatles reference for sure. We also got JoJo, which is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference. I'm kidding. I know it's Get Back, which that's what JoJo is referencing is that Beatles song. But anyways, and we also get Sadie for that. And what I found interesting is you use all these people, and they only used Hey Jude and Dear Prudence in the movie, and then Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds at the end of the movie, as in the end credits. So I was like, Get Back would actually really fit for the JoJo character because they are at 1960, and Get Back was written as a protest song for British stuff, but it would have fit with the character of JoJo in that movie due to the civil rights movement going on. But for some reason they didn't do that. They didn't do Sexy Sadie, which would have fit for Sadie. They didn't do, like I said, they did Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds as the end credit song, even though they could have kind of turned it into a love song for the movie, but they didn't. So yeah, it was like a lot of missed opportunities with this movie is the best way I could say it. So this is how the story works. We'll go through it really quick because, again, I feel like it was written around the songs, not written and then has the songs incorporated. So basically, the main character, Jude, is trying to find his dad. So he goes from London to America, meets him, but also meets Max Kerrigan. They become friends and decide to have Thanksgiving together, where Jude meets Lucy. Lucy was dating somebody in the army who passes away, and Jude and Max move to New York, where they live in a apartment with their landlord Sadie, who's a musician. She finds a random guitarist that saw the worst of the civil rights movement just randomly, because even though it is partially a major part of the story, it also isn't really, it's kind of glossed over. Actually, yeah, no, the civil rights movement part is glossed over in this movie. That's the only part you get for JoJo, and then he becomes the guitarist And that's like that's how fast they gloss over that. They also try to like make Vietnam a really big deal in this movie, but also at the same time don't, which is really confusing. They also try to make the protests for the war a very big thing for about 10 minutes of the movie, and that's about it. So yeah, they're trying to make it like realistic musical fiction, but also not focusing on what they're trying to focus on. It's a very strange movie. So like, anyways, so Max gets sent off to Vietnam. They decide to travel before he leaves. They decide to travel on a party bus with Dr. Robert, who is played by Bono. Which what's funny is when I first remember seeing this movie, I for some reason thought it was Lemmy Kilmister, and him doing "I Am the Walrus" sounded completely different than what I remember. So that scene actually improved. Not saying that Lemmy's not a good singer. He is a good singer, but in my mind, I thought it was literally just going, "I am the England, I am the England, I am the walrus, cuckoo, cuckoo." But no, Bono sounds like Bono. So I don't remember why I remember it that way. I don't know why I remember it that way, but yeah. But after that, they go to a carnival, which is the only song I didn't recognize for some reason, and I think it was because that one was so haphazardly done. So maybe I got those two mixed up. But then Max goes off to war. Lucy starts protesting the war, and Jude doesn't care. He ends up they like end up breaking up for a little bit because Jude doesn't care about the war and Lucy does. And then he gets tries to get back with Sadie after getting drunk, or not Sadie. Sadie ends up breaking up her band to be big time and everything, and she's like kind of sucking at it while JoJo's getting really better. This is so weird to say JoJo like that because then I'm thinking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I mean, this is a bizarre adventure when you think about it. But anyways, so during that, Jude gets arrested and they find out that he's not an American citizen, so they send him back. And that's supposed to play like it's a big deal. And then they randomly do the first verse of Blackbird, like just randomly, like it doesn't really fit. It's supposed to be a sad moment, and then she just randomly looks at the camera. Lucy literally is like, "Blackbird singing in the dead of night," and it's like, okay, that's random. And that's another thing. A lot of these musical moments just don't fit in, like Blackbird or like Girl at the beginning. It literally just starts with the first half of Girl, then cuts into Helter Skelter, then starts the movie. And it's like, okay, was that necessary? I mean, you use Helter Skelter later, and you use it like it's a music video to begin with. But, and then, like, I mean, I kind of understand the girl part, but also, like, in the grand scheme of things, there's so much going on with this movie that, like, literally the whole love story between Jude and Lucy, even though it's supposed to be the main focus, just feels like a part. Like, for example, I only remember Prudence having 3 scenes. And 2 of them were her singing. One was I Want to Hold Your Hand, which is supposed to, like, make it feel like she might be a lesbian. Because I really don't remember if, like, they resolve that. Because then it goes to them singing Dear Prudence to her showing up at the end. And that's, like, that's all her parts, from what I remember. And then, like, the whole Jude and Lucy thing, it follows that a lot. But it also, like, doesn't feel impactful. That's the main problem with this movie, is a lot of it just doesn't feel impactful. Which kind of sucks. But yeah, so how the movie ends is Jude gets back to the U.S., Sadie and JoJo team back up with no explanation. And they do like what the Beatles did for their final performance, which was playing on top of the Apple building, except it's not the Apple building in this. It is implied to look like it. It looks exactly like that, but it's in New York, just randomly. And then another reference on this is Sadie's record company is called Strawberry, which is obviously, one, Strawberry Fields, because they use that song, but also a reference to Apple, a half-assed reference to Apple. But yeah, and then the movie ends, she's singing Don't Let Me Down, which that's where they revealed that song anyways. And then Jude gets up because he thinks that Lucy was there, but he couldn't find her. So he starts singing All You Need Is Love, and he sees Lucy, and the movie ends. So yeah, it was very haphazard. I have to give it a 7 out of 10 because it was just so confusing and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you, have an amazing day.